is up, Teen Duels Line 671? Happy February. And on this night that I'm doing laundry, as you guys might hear in the background, I'm coming at you with, as promised, an updated deck profile for the Divine Dark Magician, but this time focusing on one particular god card. I'll get into details later on, and this definitely has the new support cards for the Egyptian gods, so I'm really excited for this one, and I hope you guys are too. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, become a part of the notification squad. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this. So as always, I have new artwork for you guys. We always run 3 copies of Dark Magician. That's okay, it's still the same artwork. The main MVP of the deck, the center of all the strategy that activates almost all the card effects. You want this guy in your hand as much as possible. A lot of people prefer 2, but I like running 3. You could never be without Dark Magician, and you're always happy to see him in this deck, even if you draw multiples. You could argue that he's a brick, but I don't think so. So many ways you could summon him. So yes, 3 copies of Dark Magician, 3 copies of Magician's Rod. To summarize this one, pretty much the straddles of the deck. Search for any spell trap that mentions Dark Magician in its text. Add to your hand. Also, during the opponent's turn, you could tribute 1 spellcaster turn, retrieve this back to your hand if you activate a spell trap, which is really cool because you could combo that with Eternal Soul, so you can keep on recycling your straddles basically. So imagine straddles having that effect where you could bring it back from the graveyard, which is really cool. Actually, straddles would be really broken if that was the case. They would ban straddles for good. I'm just kidding. Memories. Anyways, another 3 copies of Magician Souls. Level 1 of the deck, you can combo so many links with this, like Relinquish Anima, surprise the opponent. This one summons your Dark Magician Girl. You could even summon itself. And it's just overall a great card, and it adds to the draw power of the deck, which doesn't need too much draw power, but it helps substantially. Okay, so 3 copies of Magician Souls. To continue, 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Took some advice from one of my comments earlier. I'm only running 2 because I now pumped up Preparation of Rites at 3, as I'll show you guys later on. And this is the searcher of the deck. You place a card on top of your deck, so it sets up your true name. It's really awesome, it. So that'll be it for the multiple copies of the Dark Magician cards. One else, say hello to Dark Magician Girl. I have new artwork for you guys. Beautiful. And to accompany Dark Magician Girl, Apprentice Illusion Magician. Pretty much it's one of your free special summons, and since we're running the Slifer version of Divine Dark Magician, we want to discard our god card. You want to discard your Dark Magician if you want to fuse from the graveyard with Magical Fusion. She's just overall useful, and she searches for the DM himself. So to continue, Palladium Oracle Mahad. This is the badass card that you could use in Yami. You could use in return, or what is it called? Dark Side Dimensions. And that's the one where he beat the main villain in just 2 seconds. And everyone's like, whoa, that was easy. Anyways, yeah, Oracle Mahad, because you could set him up with Soul Servant, and you draw him, and then use the second effect of Soul Servant to draw him, and then you special summon him. I broke out of a Dark Angel rivalry lock by top decking this guy, and I special summoned him. When they flip rivalry, I chose spellcasters, and I broke out of the lock. That wasn't even supposed to happen. They could have chained during the draw phase, but it did. I lucked out because of this guy, and he was a really good card in this deck. I highly recommend using him. You could argue that these two are bricks, but overall, it depends on how you build the deck. Even if you brick with them, you can always just use the effect of Timaeus to special summon himself by sending these guys to the graveyard. Or you have like even one of those link, what is that link monster called? Queen of the Master Magicians. Yeah. Selene to special summon from the graveyard. Okay, so next we also run one copy of Timaeus, the United Dragon. Speaking of which, this is your main centerpiece to fuse for Red Eye Star Dragoon if you want to, if you need to. But we're mainly going for this version, Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, so we could protect our spells and traps, such as Eternal Soul, so you could turn your Dragon Knight into a Dark Magician God. And you're running a particular field spell in here that will help protect your spells and traps, including that field spell. And you always have a spellcaster out, so that should give you a hint of what that is. And then, of course, behold the Egyptian god, Slifer, the Sky Dragon. 2 because you don't want to draw too many, so not 3. You don't want to draw enough, or like you don't want to draw like not enough times, or like you don't want it just to use one and you needed the second one. So 2 is the magic number for Slifer. I'm sure you'll be pleased. That'll be it for the monster lineup. Now for the spells and traps. 3 copies of Preparation of Rites. Searcher of the deck. We play this at 3 because you could bait out Ash, and you have 2 in your hand, you could activate it, Ash, and then you're like, psych, activate a second one. Search for your Illusion of Chaos, that's all you need to search for. So, Preparation of Rites. 3 copies of True Name, because we're still running the Divine Engine, with Slifer only though. And we all know what this does. Yugi discovers his true name, Atem, and he summons a god card from the deck, which is really cool that they referenced the anime out of that. And it also helps the deck because you guess the top card of the deck correct, you add it to your hand, then you special summon your god card or add it to your hand. Yes, keep in search for sphere mode. It's that awesome. So 3 copies of True Name, 2 copies of Dark Magical Circle. Pretty much your power duality of the deck. You activate the top 3 cards, and you add 1 spell trap that mentions Dark Magician in its text, or Dark Magician himself. It's that awesome. So 2 copies of that. Soul Servant, arguably the best card in the spell card in the spell and trap lineup. And place any Dark Magician card on top of your deck, basically, whether it be the graveyard, your hand, or the deck. It's not just the deck, guys. So if you have like Palladium in your graveyard or in your hand, stuck in your hand, you can use this to put it on top of your deck, and then use the second effect by banishing it, and then you draw a card for each Dark Magician, Girl, and Palladium in your deck. So that's why we run all 3, so you have a chance to draw in 3, and you can make your Slifer like super buff. So Magician Souls. That'll be it for the multiple copies of the spells. For the one-offs, Secrets of the Dark Magic, because you can search for it, you can ritual summon or fusion summon with this, as long as the fusion requires Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, or the ritual. 1 copy of this, let me just lay that out. Magicalized Fusion, because you could fuse from your field or your graveyard by banishing, super easy, very convenient, and as long as it's a spellcaster. So you could definitely work magic with that one. However, you can't really use this to summon Dark Magician the Dragon Knight because he's a dragon, so as long as you bear that in mind. But we have to devise any ways to do that in Secrets of the Dark Magic, so we're perfectly fine. Then we run Dark Magic Attack, spell trap removal for Dark Magician as long as you have it on the field. Activate it as a Harpy's Feather Duster. That's why we mainboard it, and even if you don't need it, it's good discard fodder for Tamias and everyone. So you really don't have to worry about breaking in this deck. It's fine. That's just my opinion. One copy of Magician's Salvation. This is the jailbreak for Eternal Soul, which you do run 2 now, because sometimes one's not enough. We draw the one that we could bust out with this one, and sometimes they just shoot it. So you want to play 2 Eternal Soul along with this one copy. So if they like destroy one Eternal Soul, you could just flip up the other one. But I'm skipping ahead. We'll wait until we get to the traps. To continue the spells, you might have guessed it already. We run Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This version, I see a lot of people playing hand traps. That is a good thing. I do slide into the hand traps if I need, but I'm gearing this more to be going first deck. So I play Secret Village now, so you could combo that with Revive Sky God. Yes, that's a trap card. I'll show you what it is later. And as most of the time, this deck will give you at least one spellcaster on the field. So this is always going to be active. I feel this is a better card now because it'll be good against Runics, because that's a lot of spells. Be good against Despia, that's still around. And almost every deck plays spells, so this hits them hard, especially if they don't have a spellcaster. Even if they do, you could just use your Dark Magician tricks to banish that spellcaster and you're still good. You know, combo Dark Magician or Dark Magical Circle, all that magic tricks, yeah. Vicadabra. Kidding. I've seen the walkthroughs for Hogwarts Legacy. It's hilarious. One copy of Terraforming to search these. You know it. Okay, so to continue. Actually, these are 2 copies of, so my bad. That's not all the multiple copies of the spells, but it's okay. One copy of Monster Reborn. You're gonna actually need it in this deck, so you could combo your Revive Sky God, and it just works. A very good card, and it's very nostalgic. One copy of Foolish Burial, that a little bit Joey tech that Yuki should have played as well. Very good card. 2 copies of Eternal Soul, like I promised. This could even search for Dark Magic Attack, so if you need fodder for like Red Eyes Dark Dragon, you could just search for your Dark Magic Attack instead, and then you could just discard it. It's that easy. And it just summons a Dark Magician, makes all your Dark Magicians on the field unaffected by card effects, and pretty much makes them a god, basically. So you have a Dark Magician god in here too. Hence Divine. And anyways, now the center of the deck, at least for the trap lineup, the Revive Sky God. So what this does basically is if you have Slifer the Sky Dragon, if you're in your graveyard, activate this, you special summon Slifer, it doesn't target, so haha DD Crow, unless they like banish Slifer right away, which would be smart. But anyways, basically, what is it called? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, you special summon Slifer, and each player, including you and your opponent, draws until you have 6 cards. You'll think that's a big disadvantage, but that's where I would disagree. Because Slifer's on the field, you could take advantage of his ability to have your opponent's monsters get minus 2,000. It has shooting power. As long as they summon a monster in attack mode, you could have that monster lose 2,000 attack, and if they hit 0 or below, it's automatically destroyed. So combos well with Slifer. Second effect, you could banish it from your graveyard, place Monster Reborn on top of your deck. But if you have a Divine Monster in your graveyard, you draw a card, so you just activate Monster Reborn, bring out your Slifer, just like in the anime, like Yuki did when he was fighting himself, Yami Yuki. It's that awesome. So Revive Sky God, it's really good. It combos so well with the deck, and you pretty much feel like Yugi, what is it called? You pretty much feel like Yugi pre-Battle City Finals, when he only had Slifer in the deck. Funny thing, he only put in Slifer before his matchup with Bakura. He was afraid to use it the whole time. But it's okay, he finally did it. So that'll be it for the main deck. The extra deck, one copy of Masquerena. I like her. Hey, Masquerena. I'm just kidding. IP Masquerena. You get to link summon during your opponent's turn, and whatever you bring out with her becomes indestructible, can't be destroyed by card effects. She's that awesome. Dark, because there's a lot of dark monsters nowadays, so you want to snatch one and then get a free link 3. That awesome. Like her. Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians. This is one of the reasons why you don't really break too often in Dark Magician, because you can always use Celine to summon from your hand. Spellcaster in defense mode. Nightmare Unicorn to spin cards, because a lot of effects have it where they're indestructible, so you want to shuffle them back to the deck. So when the opponent's monster is like, yes, I'm invincible, you just spin it back in the deck and you're like, yeah, but you're still shuffleable. Just kidding. Anyways, your 007 Golden Eye reference there. I love that movie. Okay, continue. One copy of Appaloosa, because, you know, that's free negate, why not? And you could run access code talker over this if you want, but I prefer Mech Knight Crusader Evermax. You combo list of Masquerena. You have a guy that can't be destroyed by card effects and can't be targeted, and you protect your monsters from attacks. And they are forced to attack him, or he has like his honest effect basically, where he gains the attack. And even if you successfully send him to the graveyard by an opponent's card, you could shuffle one card in the field to the deck and it doesn't target. This guy is formidable, and I like him arguably better than Access Code. I tried Access Code before, but me personally, it's just a giant beat stick. It doesn't really do anything to help you control the field aside from its shooting power. But that's just me. If you like Access Code Talker, by all means, swap this out for Access Code. So this could be Access Code if you want. But that's just my preference. Totally up to you. Each duelist is different, and I'm so different. Like I'm a weird guy. But that's just me. That's just the way I do, and I like it. Anyways, Mduke, because he just requires one normal monster. This is the fusion material you use to bring out Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, etc., or Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, because he's a dragon. You link off your Dark Magician, bust him out, use Magical Eyes Fusion, and then Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, just like that. Or just bring back Dark Magician in the graveyard, use your Quick Play spell card to fuse them, and then boom, you have Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Okay, to continue, Relinquish Animal, because that's beautiful. There's so many monsters you could snatch with that, including Access Code Talker. Okay, that'll be it for the Link monsters, guys. Continue, or not all of them, sorry, Artemis. You're not necessarily using her for the ability, just a generic link, so you link Magician's Rod into her, and then the opponent's turn, activate Eternal Soul, then use Magician's Rod to tribute her, and then add the Magician's Rod to your hand. Just to give you guys a visual. Okay, now that's it for the lane monsters. The Exceeds, you're only running number 11, Big Eye. One uses Spellcaster, 2, you could take the opponent's monsters, and there's a lot to take now, because now all monsters have targeting protection, and he's just a really cool card. I feel this is all you need though. I don't really play Ebon because like it does what Dark Magical Circle does anyways, and that one I feel also is a 1 more card. That's again my preference, so yeah. And then now the fusions, this is the best part. One copy of Quintet Magician. This guy can't be tributed, this guy cannot be used as fusion material. So already off the bat he's anti-kaiju, anti-lava golem, and anti-super poly. And he has an ability where if you fusion summon him with different spellcasters, like different names, in which he requires 5 spellcasters by the way, so you fuse him with Magical Eyes Fusion, you basically get to destroy all cards the opponent controls, which is very devastating. And he's 4500, so he gives Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in competition basically. That'd be so cool to see this in the anime, but I digress. 1 copy of Quantum Magician. 1 copy of Master Chaos, because you have your ritual in your deck. To fuse with him, use a free summoner from the graveyard, and even if you do succeed in destroying him by battle or card effect, you get to add a spell card from the graveyard to your hand. A really good effect, and the best effect is that it's not a quick effect unfortunately, but that's okay. You could tribute him and 1 light or dark monster in the field. Banish all cards the opponent controls, doesn't target. So he's pretty much an evenly matched, walking evenly matched, without having to go through the end battle phase Palooza. 1 copy of the Dark Magicians, because the combination of Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician is totally the Dark Magicians. They didn't even fuse. I'm just kidding. But I digress. This is a really good card. It's free draw, and it's just a good generic fusion to go into, and it busts out Dark Magician Girl if he is destroyed. So overall good card. And of course, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. We all know what this bad boy does. Cannot be destroyed, can't be targeted, and he gets strong every time he negates by 1,000. Badass. 1 copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Last but not least, this guy protects your spells and traps from being targeted by your opponent's card effects, and it prevents them from being destroyed by opponent's card effects. And he counts as Dark Magician while on the field in the graveyard. It's important because you combo this with Eternal Soul. He's Dark Magician, and he's now unaffected by spells and traps. And it protects your Secret Village with the spellcaster, so you lock them out of spells too while you're having an unaffected monster. But as long as you have another spellcaster on the field with your Secret Village with the spellcasters, you're fine. Because he's a dragon, you gotta remember that. And you can't really summon him with Magical Ice Fusion either, because that requires a spellcaster fusion, and again, he's a dragon. That's the only downside to him, but overall, it's still a good card. So that'll be it for the extra deck. Side deck, I'll go through it for you guys really quick, so I don't consume too much of your time. Sphere mode, because there's like a lot of boss monsters, including Kashtiras. I yet to fight a full power Kashtira deck, but I know this one is good against them, and so is Nibiru. We all know what Nibiru does. Ghost Sister to gain life points, especially when you're in a tournament and you're crunching time. This is a good way to end the duel, basically. 2 copies, or not really end the duel, but you win by more life points. It works. It's salty, but it works. 2 copies of Ash Blossom. We all know what this does. It's pretty much the counter spell of Yu-Gi-Oh by now. 2 copies of Lightning Storm, because Dark City is unlimited power. Okay, I'll stop that joke. 1 copy of Call by the Grave. Gives the opponent's hand traps the finger. Hence getting the pointer finger. And it's just overall a good card. Helps you control the field. People don't really realize that its effect lasts until the end of the next turn. So if you banish like an important piece in the opponent's graveyard and they realize they can't use that effect next turn, it's because this card's really good. It's the reason why it's at 1. And then evenly matched. I know this is going to get reprinted, so it's going to be easier to get. Very good card, especially against Runics. And if you have a free zone, it's good against Kashtiras, you name it. And last but not least, Infinite Impermanence, the hand trap, and one of the best trap cards ever to be created, if not the best, alongside Evenly Matched. Omni Negate, and if you set it and you negate a monster effect, you negate any spells and traps within the same column of the card of which you set this card. Very good effect, and overall very devastating, especially in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays where trap cards need to be fast, so these cards are fast. So that'll be it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoy. Once again, I'll be posting a tutorial for this, and I know I gotta update all of my videos. I promised you guys a lot of times that I'll be writing a list in the description of the deck list. So all I ask is for your patience. Summer's coming around the corner. I'll have more time to do these things. Right now I need to focus on work and new investments, but eventually I'll get it done for you guys, just for you and for the channel. So anyways guys, I forgot that extra monster. This is Teen Duels Alliance 671. I hope you enjoy. As always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to become a part of the almost said it. Hit that bell and be a part of the notification squad. And once again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy end of the month, guys, pretty soon, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.